Hey everyone, and welcome to the HR Vision podcast. I'm your host, Ivo, and every week I'm going to have a conversation that matters about HR. This week, I have Remi Rangaraju with me. Welcome, Remi. How are you?
Thank you, Ivo. I'm fine. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much. Remi is based in India. She's a functional consultant at FourVision. She has been doing great things related to HR that you don't want to miss. So let's start, Remi. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
Go for it,
Well,
Ivo.
Okay, so well, you go for it now. Let's see. We start always with a new guest with a small introduction about them. So, if you please take the floor and just introduce yourself, what you've been doing in your professional career.
Sure. Thank you for that. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. My name is Remi, and I'm based out of Bangalore in India. And a little bit about my background. Majority of my background has been in HR as a HR business partner. And in the past 4 years, I've been into consulting as a functional consultant. So that's briefly about me.
All right. And where did HR your education came from? Was already in HR.
Yes.
How did the HR connection started? Started right away from high school. You just decided that you wanted to work in HR.
Actually, that's a good question. I had never had anything, in my mind, really speaking. I definitely wanted to do my graduation and post-graduation, but I didn't know where, what is it I really wanted to. I did wanted to do, and I didn't have enough clarity there. And HR happened to me.
Okay.
And I must thank my colleagues first in Motorola when I started out as a trainee, and thereafter to Lucent colleagues. Motorola, a lady by name Nisha Nambisan, and in Lucent, Mr. Solomon Ravikumar and Josh Thomas. But for them, I don't think I could have got into HR as a career.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay,
absolutely.
So they were really inspiring in the beginning of your career.
Absolutely. Very inspiring. I think they felt that I was more suited for HR, and they gave me this opportunity, and that's how I grew in HR.
Okay. So when you started back then in HR, was a slowly growing passion? Was immediately felt when you start like the first year learning about it, you fell in love immediately? How did that happen?
I think I fell in love with it immediately, just after a few months. As I started seeing, I am very comfortable with people, and I love interacting with people. I mean, while I may not be an extrovert, but I enjoy meeting people, talking to them, and learning about things, learning from them. So that kind of inspired me and also motivated me. So I continued. I thought, yeah, maybe that's the right thing for me to do. And I also saw there were a lot of initiatives and being done for people. And I could see myself grow in that particular career path. So
Interesting.
And I must thank everybody, in my career, those who supported me all through my career, my managers, my colleagues, everybody, for having supported me.
No, absolutely. So you have a lot of experience. You started all your career as an HR business partner, right? That was the beginning for some years. So how do you think, since you started, how do you think HR as a function changed through the years? Did you see the digitalization impact? How do you see that impact?
I think HR has grown significantly. And I work largely in the IT industry with a combination of both product and services organizations, and largely with product companies. And I've seen HR role has evolved a lot over these years. There are a lot of specializations which have come in. Which have come in today. You have compensation and benefits, organizational development. You have performance management team, that's talent management. Then you have talent acquisition, HR business partner. So you have several streams within HR. So that was not the case truly. A large amount of focus then was mostly on HR business partnering or talent acquisition.
Exactly.
But then different functions have evolved over a period of time, and there is diversity and inclusion, not to forget that. So there's a lot of emphasis on ensuring that there is inclusivity and diversity at workplace as well.
Yeah. And do you think that came from like the evolution of society, because companies became more aware of people and how they should position their people, they should keep their people, that so the focus shouldn't be only on the talent acquisition? Do you think it was a combination of these factors?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's all like skewed talent. So, for example, if there are only men in a certain team or in a certain skill, then we had to bring in more women employees. Or if there were only women, then we had to make sure that there were more men employees in that particular area of expertise. Mm-hmm. So not only that, and also giving opportunity to people with differently abled also as well, and also including other communities. And we are getting there. We're still not there yet, but I think we've been making progress in all of these aspects within HR practices to make sure that it's a more diverse and inclusive environment in the industry. And I know that several companies in the IT industry have done several initiatives.
Okay, it's nice that you say that, because it's a good segue to something that I'm really interested to hear about, because I understand that in the past, working as an HR business partner, you actually had a lot of initiatives regarding women in the workplace to, and not enforce, but cultivate that or grow that culture of hiring more women to different positions. So tell us a bit about that. What were those initiatives that you took?
Yeah, I think if you were to start with hiring, one is to make sure that, for example, let's say in the leadership or in special or niche areas of expertise, whether it's men or women who are lesser in numbers, to make sure that we bring in some amount of equality, gender equality, bringing in a good balance out there. So you focus your hiring towards ensuring that you bring in those set of employees or a specific gender to make sure that it's a balanced team. And if you were to look at women, so some of the initiatives which were driven apart from hiring were to encourage them to participate in various science forums, seminars, or conferences. So some of the organizations like NASCOM, Grace Hopper, there are several forums which invite women for different initiatives which they run. And these are some of them where, I've personally ensured that, women are participating, of course, along with working with the managers of those employees.
Of course.
And a lot of my colleagues have ensured that, HR colleagues, to make sure that people are participating in all of these. And there's also a specific day, Women's Day celebration, to make sure that they are celebrated. That gives them an opportunity to interact with a lot of other women. There are groups for women, supporting groups, so which will help them to move, in their career ahead, either through mentoring or coaching programs. So they find mentors in those groups. So some of these, initiatives were driven in some of the organizations I worked with in the past. Yeah.
Interesting. What is your feeling now? Do you think that that's still necessary? That's mostly necessary. I know that you have not been doing that for a while, but do you think that's still necessary? It's important in a lot of, I guess in some countries more than others, but that's still an important thing to do, right?
Absolutely. If you have a mentor or a coach at your workplace, or if your organization is supporting you with an internal mentor or an external mentor or internal or external coach, that is going to definitely help you grow in your career. It'll give you more clarity in terms of where you want to head. It'll help you think through and solve your own problems. And you have somebody to talk to about your career. or it could be personal life. It could be anything. So the fact that you have some support, someone, a confidant whom you can reach out to and express what you're going through, whether it is a good experience or a bad experience, you can always share how you're growing in your career. What are some of the bottlenecks, or what are your aspirations? So some of these things can be discussed. So let's say I'm at a mid management or going towards senior management, and I need certain skills I may or may not have, and there are certain things which I need to learn. So a coach or a mentor will definitely be helpful. Regardless, I think, regardless of time, I think one definitely needs a mentor and a coach to move ahead in their careers in any organization, I would say.
Would you say it's necessary for all positions? It's should you hire? Who should it be? Should it be someone that you know already, that you worked with in the past, a previous manager or something like that? What is your idea about that?
So if it's mentoring, probably you would definitely need someone who knows your area, who understands your area of expertise. But if it's about coaching, it could be anybody, literally, because coaching is different from mentoring. Mentoring is where a person is also going to guide you and help you solve your problems, and guides you through the steps as well. Apart from you taking ownership to solve your own problems, or to think ahead in your career as to how should I plan, etc., and who's going to give you some guidance and advise you. In a coaching situation, a coach helps you to think, what is it you would like to do? How can you solve your problems? So a coach could be from any area of expertise, internal, external. So while there is significant difference, both would be helpful in their own ways. So for a mentor, yes, to answer your question, someone who knows your area of expertise will come in handy to guide you better. And for a coach, it could be anybody.
Okay. All right. Before moving to the work you do at FourVision, and working with HR tech more than as an HR business partner, I just want to go back a bit to ask you. We talked about the importance of mentorship and coaching, but going back to the women in the workplace, you have been not doing that for a while, but do you think those activities, those initiatives, are still very important in today's world?
Absolutely, they're still relevant. I mean, while I moved away from core HR business partner role 4 years ago, those initiatives are still valid. Participating in various forums will give opportunities for women to interact, network, get to know different people, and look at people who are very inspiring and learn from them. It'll definitely help them a lot. I think it will still be relevant always, or probably it's timeless. I'm sure it's going to be very helpful to everybody.
So the movement is slow. That movement is a bit slow. Like companies and societies take a lot of time to adjust and to adapt to a full equality, or at least equality of opportunity, for sure. That takes a while. Okay, if we move to your experience at FourVision, how did you land with technology? How did that came up? Okay,
so that also happened to me. I didn't plan it out. So in 2017, I was looking for opportunities, and then there came about an opportunity for this role to head the HR practice. And that's when I got into this role. And Microsoft had just launched this project. And it was in its infancy at that point in time. And that's when my colleagues and we all, Sachi, so all of us looked at this product. And we were pretty excited to learn about D365 HR at that point in time. And that's how I got into consulting. I didn't know consulting per se, but however, I always had inclination towards automation and software, and that's something.
Technology.
Yeah, technology is. I was fairly comfortable with it. In fact, at Lucent, when I worked there, earlier we used to use Excel sheets, and then we moved into developing a performance management system and a lead management system. So I was very comfortable in working with the developers to develop the system. So, and I was also working on PeopleSoft then at that point in time. So from that perspective, for me, transitioning into technology was fairly comfortable. And I feel someone who has a lot of HR knowledge, particularly someone with HR business partner experience in the event that they don't plan to move into a leadership role or move further beyond a certain years of experience, and they would like to look at an individual role, individual contributor role, then I think functional consulting is a good place for somebody to be in.
Interesting. That's a very good point of view. And you worked with, I guess, being an HR business partner, you worked with softwares before. Did you try the Microsoft before, or it was just from 2017 forward?
Only 2017. Microsoft D365 HR came in only in 2017, but then I have not worked on any of the or rather,
AX.
I worked with not with AX or 2012. None of those prior to that. It was mostly on PeopleSoft, SAP. And again, mostly PeopleSoft and SAP is what I worked with in the past.
And now that you tried working with Microsoft, what is your feeling about it? You can be honest, okay?
But I actually switched tables or switched sides, I must say.
Yeah.
At that point in time, I was an end user. Now I'm on the other side of the table. Yes. I'm at the receiving end of the table right now.
Yeah.
So customers tell me at that point in time, I could tell what I wanted from the person implementing. But today I have to listen to what the customer has to say. So
that's true.
It's been interesting, and so I can't exactly compare because that was more of an end user experience, and this is implementing. However, as an end user, I worked on older versions of these products, and that was a long time ago. That was between 2001 or 2 to 2006 on PeopleSoft, and then thereafter on SAP. The modules I worked on were more on personnel management and a little bit on employee records as well as ratings. I mean, it was not very evolved and merit increases, but more like replicating an Excel into a software. It's
into
just
a table in a software.
Yeah, exactly. Employee information is available. Then you can key in numbers and it'll show you the totals and whether you're within the budget or not in the budget and things like that. Not a very exhaustive, application. I think over a period of time, it has developed. Or it has evolved. Today, if I were to look at D365 HR, it's a great software. And for someone with small-sized or mid-sized, anybody can, even a large-sized company can definitely look at it. It has a lot of functionalities within that. And even if you were to look at FourVision's products, performance management, document management system, lead management system. So all of that, if you really look at the wonderful products, just to talk about performance management, and as you're aware, I'm working with Coca-Cola Africa. On this project. So for performance management, they're also looking at succession planning, performance management. So in our product, we also have the merit process. So I think as organizations evolve with their HR practices, they're going to look at more evolved solutions to manage, to align with their talent management initiatives, etc., and more look at a standard product with less customization, which is going to fit into their practices and processes.
Yeah, absolutely. That was kind of an unfair question, but I had to ask. So, but thank you. It was a good answer. You worked a lot, and you have some experience with talent management and in performance management now. Let's talk a bit about that. What does it mean, the talent management, and why is it so important for HR professionals and for organizations? To be able to do an efficient talent management.
It's very important. I think primary reason being retention of employees. If an organization wants to retain its employees, I think they will make sure that their employees are well taken care of in on various aspects of it. So talent management entails performance management. Um, of course, talent acquisition is always there. Hiring right set of people, learning and development opportunities, mobility programs, succession planning, and providing them opportunities with different roles or job rotation, and last but not the least, rewards and recognition program. So these are all very important for an employee, and of course, while it may not be truly part of talent management, or maybe part of it is compensation and benefits too, it does matter to an employee or to anybody for that matter. So it's important that an employee is retained. That's the key of having talent management initiatives, because the cost of replacing someone, and again, it depends on the experience level, skill level, what value do they bring in. It's not just about replacing a person. It's about what have they done, to your company, or added value to your organization. So it may be easy just to get somebody to replace that position. However, bringing that amount of expertise and that wisdom, not everybody can replace that at all times.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So maybe sometimes, but may not be at all times. And so it matters a lot to have right talent management practices in the organization.
Yeah, absolutely. I think sometimes it might be more costly to try to get a new person up to speed to that level of expertise that you had in a previous as a previous employee had, because you accumulate expertise, experience within the company, know how to deal with stuff. You start knowing some things that you take with you. You don't leave in your handover or something like that. So it's always hard to keep up with that.
Yeah.
And how these how can we translate this talent management, all these rewards and benefits, everything that you just talked about, into HR technology? Of course, we have the solutions at FourVision, but how important are those or any other solutions in HR to support those processes, those HR processes in place, talent management, performance management, rewards, those kind of things?
It's very important because otherwise it becomes an administrative overhead, and everyone in their own area of specialization will end up doing a lot of administrative work, which is not really required. So if you have systems to support that, it can, of course, you still need somebody to manage it, but then that person also won't feel that it's just always the administrative work. They probably could be taking on extra responsibilities or a different role other than that too, which will help them grow in their career. So a software or an automation or a product, an ERP, which is there, is going to help them reduce their time, effort, and it'll also help them grow strategically in their roles, and not just handle only transactions, either on a system or otherwise. But the system is definitely going to reduce that administrative overhead. Yeah. And if somebody were to handle, regardless of whether they are HR business partners or managers or senior managers in any of their areas of expertise, like I said, the administrative part is going to reduce, and everything is on the system, and it is easily accessible at any time. They can go back; the records are all there at one place, and they can find it easily. And if they need to run reports, it's available out there. So it does give you a lot of advantages, and one can focus more on their qualitative initiatives or grow strategically rather than just focus on administrative tasks.
No, absolutely. It promotes that shift, right? From being just taking care of tasks to actually help the business to grow, because you have data, you have the reports, you can support the business in some decisions because you have everything done by the systems, and you just need to think and process that data. That's it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. We're just reaching the end. I'm just going to ask you a couple more things. Regarding HR technology, what are the trends that you see coming up? If you see any, what will be the importance of HR technology in the future? What are other things coming in the pipeline that probably will be very important for HR professionals?
I haven't specifically looked into it, but the way I see it is that as the HR practices evolve in any organization, they would need a system to support those initiatives and reduce their administrative tasks. These systems will support that, and these systems will have to be designed in a more holistic manner where everything is available. And just off the hat, which I can remember is our performance management system, because it has succession planning, performance management, and merit process. So people would typically look at holistic solutions, not partial solutions. They just have one module or one functionality, and not everything. So as it evolves, they would start looking at holistic solutions in the future, is what I would like to think, which is going to support their initiatives.
Okay. Yeah. Just a last question or challenge, as I normally say, it's just to ask the guest every time, like, if you had one thing to say to HR professionals, what would that be?
Wow, that's very challenging. Okay, I have to really think. You put me on the spot now.
I did.
You did, yeah. For HR professionals, I would say, try to reduce your administrative tasks and try to grow in your career for sure. Sorry for harping on that point, because we're talking about software and ERP, and I think that's the focus. Transactions would reduce, and try to move ahead in their roles, more qualitatively or more strategically. And of course, use our products, FourVision's products, for sure. Definitely, I would definitely say that explore our products and see what it's got to offer you.
Yeah, I would add to that advice that you gave previously in the conversation, which is the fact that as an HR business partner, being a functional consultant is not a big of a change, maybe. So, for people looking for a career change in HR, maybe you can look into that. We are always looking for consultants, so
absolutely,
you can join our team or any other team. We don't discriminate, but that's maybe a good advice that you gave. I think it's important for people to know, if you're interested in technology and HR, it's maybe a nice thing to just check.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Totally.
All right.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Remi, thank you so much for taking the time. This was a very nice conversation. I enjoyed it very much. I hope you did too.
Yes, I did as well. And thank you for having me here.
No problem. It was a pleasure. Guys out there, take care, be safe, and I'll see you next time.
Sure. Thank you. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.